Hi guys, we are at the Babyliss headquarters where we're going to show you guys the amazing work that was done to get this product from an idea, from a dream to reality. That's why it's important, man, those little details. Bro, that's beautiful. Two innovators, one mission, redefining the industry. Through the years, we've been developing products from the ground up. Started out with a shave gel that we were making literally in our backyard, from my kitchen to scaling to the backyard to contract manufacturing. And you shouldn't do that, but I get it. Everybody got to start somewhere. As we scaled the business from shave gels to patented products like the Beam Team, the Powered Mat, Power Clips, the Power Pods, we just wanted to bring something new to the table. Trust me, if we wanted to make money, the best way and the easiest way and the fastest way to make money is to just privately. You don't need any employees. You don't need to support small businesses like your local barber supply store. Just throw it on a website or Amazon and you're in business. And you get to keep most of the profits. So you can charge a little bit less because, well, you don't have to take any real risks. You don't have to develop anything from scratch that you don't know if the marketplace is going to adopt or not. You don't have to spend the hundreds of thousands of dollars in tooling and molds and engineering costs, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. But I believe we have one life. And I believe if it wasn't for people who were willing to take risks and innovate, we wouldn't even be where we're at today with the amazing tools and selections that we have. I came up as a barber 15 years ago, and all we really had was 3 main clippers that I could, like, just off the top of my head. And I don't know if you guys could relate, but the seniors, the masters, and the fast feeds. Corded, different colors every now and then. That's all you really got. I remember distinctly it was one company called Babyliss that dropped a bomb on the industry, and that was the Skeleton FX and the Clipper FX. It changed everything. It pushed boundaries. It was risky, but it shifted the way the industry was going, and it made Clipper companies, it forced them to be innovative and try new things and raise the bar, raise their standard. And so I'll never forget that time that Babyliss shifted the culture so much. And honestly, it was perfect timing for us as Tomb45 because we were developing products like this: the charging pads, the power pads, the power pods, the Beam Team. We were also doing our work to try to bring something new, refreshing, and daring to the industry. And so naturally, Babyliss Pro, Tomb45, we started to create a relationship. Their engineers, our team would have conversations about cool ideas. And so we decided to partner together to create something new and amazing. Now, this isn't the fastest route to go by any means. It took us 3 years to get here. And it's not the most profitable by any means, but it's so fulfilling. We hope that this continues to push the industry forward. Now, I get it. There's barbers that don't want anything new. They want the same thing over and over again. And there's barbers that don't appreciate evolution. And what I mean by that is people complain about the iPhone not being that much different every year. But if you look at an iPhone 5 years apart, it's drastically different. There's a lot of growth. It's just, if you look at it year by year, you think every year, nothing's changed. Not much has changed. Not much has changed. But that not much has changed in 5 years is a whole nother world. Now with this clipper, everything was designed from the ground up. Internal wireless charging, USB-C, the proprietary FX charging port, ergonomics, rubber grip, new ergonomic lever, something that clipper companies really don't pay a lot of attention to, but it's something that barbers use the most on their clipper. I love the power button. The top button is to increase the power or lower the power. Very smooth lever, new MIM blade, green cutting blade, nice compact ergonomic feeling, packed with 2 batteries for 4 to 5 hour runtime. And this is real runtime. And it's just sexy. It's a beautiful tool. The trimmer has a reverse blade For my guys who want to just pick up their trimmer and go straight to lining up, never understood why this is the first trimmer to ever do that. Removable lid. New blade to remove material so you can see around it even better. But this MIN blade crunches. This also has 360 charging, which means wireless charging, USB-C, and the proprietary port. Patented technology. If it's patented, it's probably new and innovative. All in all, these are the quietest trimmers and clippers Babyliss has produced yet, and I'm proud of them. So proud of them. Been a 3-year journey. It's a hell of a risk. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, we'll just private label something. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of videos now on Instagram. The team is pumping them out. Check them out. Go to a local supply store. Try them out. If you're going to be at EWP, guaranteed you'll be able to grab yours. Those are the first people that are going to be able to get them on February 16th. You can also pre-order them online and get them, and the shipping date is March 1st. Each clipper and each trimmer will come with a wireless charging pad. And man, does this look sexy on your station.
So this is genuinely from napkin to reality. I showed a recent post that I took a lot of inspiration from my favorite mouse and a paint roller. So here's the paint roller that I was talking about. If you want to learn more about that, you can look at my post on Instagram where I talk about growing up. From the time I was in middle school and into high school, I helped my dad's painting business. And so I used to paint a lot, and boy, I learned real quick about ergonomics. So here's my first rough draft drawing of the trimmers. It's ugly as hell. And here's an ugly rough draft of the clippers. Again, ugly as hell, but it got the idea out there. Yeah, it definitely wasn't the prettiest thing in the world. But then we developed it, and it turned into 3D renderings. So this was a rendering that we showed Babyliss of the tool, of the trimmer. And I thought it was gorgeous. I was like, man, this is dope. This is the vibe that I'm looking for. And I feel like it developed into exactly what we were looking to do. This was an awful 3D print of the clipper. Look how big it was, This was hilarious. A lot of these 3D prints came out so funny. This was a 3D print of the clipper, right? And I loved it. I loved the form. I thought it was perfect. This was a handmade early prototype. It's ugly. It's cheap looking, but you get to feel the weight and stuff. Got to cut with them. Loud, very, very loud, right? But it's funny. You show a barber these prototypes, and immediately they're like, "No, I hate them. They're ugly." You gotta have vision, man. You gotta have vision. You gotta be able to see it, dialed in, the finished version. That's why we hated when all these influencers started dropping, reviews and unboxings with prototypes. That's not fair. And then no context. These guys were not even sharing that they were prototypes, right? So you can see the size of the clipper compared to the skeleton. These are the FX1s, and people were saying people initially, I guess because of the photos, were saying they were big. They looked big, and I'm like, dang, man. This was us testing the wireless charging on the pads we already have. That was even an earlier prototype than this one. You can see by the rubber grip. The rubber grip on this one was much larger. Look at that 3D print. That's an ugly one. Green blade. Look at the lever on this early model. You guys see that? Look at that lever on the early model. Like, no, man, that lever ain't gonna do it. That lever ain't gonna do it. So we created a lever out of clay. This is Instagram, and then this is reality. Yeah. And Brad's gonna bring Instagram.
There you go.
Here we go. So Brad helped us with he cooked up the lever and made it amazing. This is my initial reaction to seeing the clipper for the first time, the trimmer and the clipper for the first time, like a decent finished product. Not finished, but you guys get it. I guess that's just a picture of me holding them. Somebody snapped, but this might be the video.
I cannot release this, but we have officially shown the team the tools we've been working on for the last couple of years. Check it out, guys.
All right, so that was showcasing it to the team, man.
All beam out here. Look,
And you hear them crunching. I just want to hear it.
hey, I'm the first person to get cut with them things.
So it definitely wasn't a finished product, but it was a much cleaner prototype where people can see the evolution of, you know, this compared to that. It started to evolve into something that looked more proud, you know? Not proud, but I don't know the word.
Yeah, I just want to hear.
You can see we tried using different cutters. That was a ceramic cutter. We tried every blade on it. We even tooled new blades from the ground up that's never been used before.
How you feel like that open was?
I feel like it's ridiculous. Like this right here,
See the ceramic cutter. See the lever.
Feeling beans?
bro. This
That lever crazy. I told you.
all day. I can do this all
You know what
day.
I'm saying?
Is
How
that
nice that blade is too, though. The MIM, like flip the blade around. The MIM.
That shit is.
and it's the 24 Tifa, right?
Yeah,
It's gonna be wide.
and even the cutter is really nice.
What does this mean? Wide?
You know, this is dope being able to give you guys an inside peek. And if you're in 6FB, whenever we get on our next call together, you know, I definitely want to do a deeper dive, answer any questions, what the experience was like developing the product. So make sure you guys tap in if you're in 6FB. We'll let you guys know when that live will happen. Let's continue. What else we got here?
The final touches on that thing. So
Yeah,
the white's gonna be green.
logo.
So the white's gonna be green.
Yeah, this will be green.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then the buttons don't have the silk screen on them yet, so the buttons will have a little T45 logo on the top.
You know, and like we can go even you know deeper here. Like you guys can see, you know, the 3D mock-ups, the renderings, you know, like this whole process, man. This was an early 3D print, and this takes risk. This takes risk financially. 3 years of sacrifice of not making any money from clippers. You know, if we would have went the private label route, could have launched something in a few months and started making profits right away. But we delayed the gratification to do something that a lot of people aren't willing to do. And, you know, there's cost behind that. People don't think about the cost of 3 years of paying people to develop something like that. Engineers, molds, tooling, all that stuff without making any money. And you're hoping that the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're investing to do this will come back once you start selling the product. You know, when you're private labeling, if you get it for 35 bucks, the clipper, and you sell it for 150 bucks, 130 bucks, 120 bucks, your cost is 35 bucks. And you could private label and throw something on Amazon and not have any overhead, not have any employees. That's just making yourself wealthy, and that's great, and it works if that is your motivation, if that's your goal, to make money. And honestly, you don't even have to charge 150, 140. You're getting for 35 bucks. Why are you charging so much? Right? You can charge 75 bucks and you know, take home the same profit margins that companies who develop things like this take home, which is, if we're lucky, 20%, right? But when you're developing something from scratch, the unit might cost 40 bucks, 45 bucks. But what about all the money you spent to develop that one unit before it's even sold? That might be an extra 20 bucks, an extra 15 bucks, an extra 5 bucks, right, per unit. So the cost is not the same when you're developing something from scratch. It's not apples to apples, right? Sure, we even teach how to do this in 6FB, in the 6FB mentorship. So if you're private labeling stuff and you're bragging about being way cheaper than everybody, why even charge more than 100 bucks? You can get away with charging less. You can charge 75 bucks and still make 20% profits, right? The problem is the moment you get stuck in a place where you have to depend on other manufacturers to be your innovation. If you have ideas, if you want to take a risk, it's very difficult to do that with that business model. With this business model, the downside is years of not making any money, sacrifice, risk, and it might not work out. And if it doesn't work out, you have to be okay with that and do it all over again until it does work out. You have to be able to go through the fire, through criticism, but if your heart is in the right place, it will come back around. And it'll be much more fulfilling and much more impactful. Let's continue. Let's go through this. So this was a really clean 3D model with a blade attached to it, so you can really see what it felt like, the distribution, you know, the shape and stuff, and if that worked out. So that was a really clean 3D print. You guys can see this is an early prototype with no thumb indent, green blade. I think I showed you guys that one. And then this one had the thumb indent, and the thumb indent is difficult, you know, because not everybody holds their clipper in the same place. But nonetheless, it's cool to have.
It's really loud in this plane. We're on our way to some meetings in Vegas, but I really wanted you to hear this sound test. Dennis is the lead in developing this product created for us. Check this out. Listen to this. You can also go to my Instagram or Beam's Instagram or Sean's Instagram, and you'll be able to see some live streams and some videos that show the sound more in depth as we're cutting with them. Man, they crunch.
So I think I talked your head off long enough, man. I'm just so grateful. I'm so happy. I'm so proud. The whole team is excited. You guys are going to be seeing so much content from us. We've been waiting for this, man. It's tough when you can't really do what you want to do because you're waiting on the release of your product, right? But now we're on fire. The guys are energized. We're going to be uploading like crazy on YouTube. Tutorials are coming using classes, tours, all that stuff. EWP is going to be a movie. And I just want to say, man, I'm so grateful for Babyliss and the team for supporting us, for seeing this opportunity. I don't remember exactly how we came together. I do remember inviting a lot of the Babyliss team, including Dennis, to EWP and having conversations with them. And I remember the discussion came up of creating an influencer collaboration, like what they've already done. And I remember telling them, if we were going to do something, it needed to be from the ground up. It needed to be combining, our powers and doing something special for the industry. And Babyliss was open to it. They're the only clipper company that we would have worked with to do this, or else we would have just done it on our own. But being able to use their resources, their team, their engineers, and leverage their wisdom and experience definitely was so valuable to us in the release of this product. So I'm super grateful for Babyliss for doing this with us. Couldn't think of a better partner. And I want to finish this video by telling y'all, man, this is something that we preach about in 6FB in the mentorship, and that is qualify yourself. Work on what it takes to be the right person for the right opportunity. Right. One of the things that stuck to me that Babyliss, had constantly said is we wouldn't have done this with anybody else. It's not just about how many followers you have. It's not just about marketing and all that. The fact that we had intellectual property, we had patents, that we had created stuff, that we were innovative, that our mission statement aligned with theirs. It was the perfect match. And so practice what you preach, I always say as well. And I could tell you guys, man, the right opportunities do come to the right people. And so if you're in the mentorship, you guys have heard that a million times, whether you want to be a shop owner, whether you want to be an influencer, a platform artist, an educator, all those things, you have to become the person that's right for that opportunity before it comes. People ain't going to ask you, going to give you an opportunity just because you got some followers. They're not going to give you an opportunity just because you're good at cutting hair. You got to bring more to the table, man. But yeah, man, God is good.